Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a good one. This is one that I haven't watched in years, even though I recently purchased it with like it was the Steelbook edition and it came with the action figure. It's just been sitting on my shelf looking at me like, hey man, let's hang
Sometimes,
out.
yeah, sometimes that's just what you need. It's
Mhm.
And I think of collector stuff. I just think of the video store. Everyone wants to build their own video store in the house.
That's
But
pretty much me. I've got an ungodly amount of like CD books just lying around my front room. One of these days I'll organize.
who knows? Might happen. But if you don't know, we are talking about My Bloody Valentine, released in 1981 and directed by George Mihalka. A decades-old folktale surrounding a deranged murder, killing those who celebrate Valentine's Day, turns out to be true. The legend when a group defies are dead. This is 80s slasher. Does exactly what it says in the tin. No messing about. This is, when you talk about 80s slasher, this is...
Yeah, this is just another example of how Canadian movies can be fantastic.
Yeah, for all their misses, like when they do hit it.
Yeah, man. And this isn't the kind of movie where they try to make it Anytown USA. Like this is an overtly like the only thing that could make this more Canadian is if they all fucking wore like hockey jerseys and ate poutine throughout the whole movie. Like it's so fucking
They were close
cool.
to that with the whole the car scene, in the junkyard.
Yeah, I mean
They
pretty
were,
goddamn close.
they were like just reminding you.
Yeah, it's like between that and the moose jaw lager or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was like this is super, super, super Canadian.
Doesn't look like Heineken painted over.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll start off with the most random scene ever.
Oh, come on. Like,
This
who
is-
hasn't gone 2-3 miles under the earth to try to bang somebody? Like, I mean, it's
full
it
fetish gear.
happens. Yeah, it's practical. I mean, it's private.
Well, it's
Sure, you're gonna
definitely
get
that.
black lung, but whatever.
Oh, there's another bit later on we got to talk about because, like, you're just walking through that, are you? Okay. But yeah, we've got these two, and they look as if they're on a mission. You get all the scary music and the scary breathing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it turns out that they're going right down the mine because they want to bang. And it's the fact that the girls only want to start stripping off. It looks like, I'll just keep my mask on because,
Right.
there's a reason why we wear them down here.
Yeah.
The canary.
Yeah, that shit was good. I mean, it's practical. I mean, you get protection. Like safe sex is important.
Well, it wasn't safe for her.
Oh, it didn't need to be safe for her.
I was like, it's only safe for one of the parties involved because,
Mm.
this is what kicks the whole thing off. So this is the original legend or what happened. But when she has her takes off the boiler suit thing, she has a heart tattoo, and that changes him from I want some. I'm going to just kill you now.
Right. Well, I mean, if you think about it, like that was the 50s. So, I mean, that is a pretty big deal having a tattoo.
But intricate for the 50s, wasn't it?
Nah, not at all.
The colored ink?
No. No, that was a thing.
Wasn't okay.
No. I mean, maybe not in the Great White North. I don't know. It could be different there.
Yeah, but it was just funny the way and the way he set it up when he gets he gets a pickaxe and he puts it in the wall and you just know it's coming. That's the thing that gets me about this movie. Everything's telegraphed. Like,
there is not a single thing in this movie that's a shocker. I mean, the end maybe if you weren't paying attention. But yeah, everything else is just like, see what we're gonna do here in a second, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
It's almost like it's unintentional comedy.
Well,
is it more in the tongue? It's not straight out horror comedy, but it's definitely tongue in cheek.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing with shit like this. It's like in retrospect, like it's hilarious. When this came out, I'm sure this was a huge fucking deal. I mean, there's 2 cuts of this. There's the unrated cut, which we watched, and then the theatrical cut. It was 9 fucking minutes of stuff they cut out just to pass the MPAA standard, and it was all gore and shit. But yeah, you look at this, and it's like all that fucking beautiful 3M blood that looks like paint. Like it's just
and the plastic, the like it's almost like modeling clay, polystyrene, and plastic. You know what I mean? It's proper 80s monster stuff. That's funny.
Yeah, it's so good.
But yeah, she gets the point just straight through, doink. And I like the way they do it with the effects. Like even though you can tell the fact that they put the effort in. Like if they did it today with CGI and digital blood, it would look shit.
But yeah, I mean, digital blood's always garbage, anyways.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Even though this is like comical, it's still good. You're still like, fuck, they've spent some time. They've got that all set up. They want it to look as if it's, and even getting the cuts with the cameras and stuff, so it looks as if he's pierced her. Like, you have to applaud that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing why I really enjoyed this. Like, I remember from years ago, but just when you haven't seen something for so long, and it's one of them movies that's just always in the zeitgeist.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we just always miss the holidays. One day, the last Sunday will appear like right next to one of the holidays. Will be in the zeitgeist. So obviously, because Valentine's Day was a week and a half ago. Was it a week ago?
Something like that.
Yeah, we were quite close this time. But yeah, that's why I thought we'd actually do something seasonal. Because
it's very relevant.
Yeah. But yeah, then we get to meet the current cast because we don't really see the fallout of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like he sticks her, and then it goes to current day.
Yeah, basically what's happened is everything, as usual, devolved into myths, legend. Didn't really happen, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I love how they start off like they tell the legend. It's just like the perfect setup. Like, oh, everybody's at the local miners bar, and the fucking old creepy fucking bartender guy is going to tell the story. That's a perfect setup, and like something
He's great. I like
only get in a small town like that.
You damn kids, you don't party because
yeah.
If he had turned out to be the killer, I would not have been surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And if he had turned out to be the killer just to prove him, I told you he'd come back, and I just did it to demonstrate for what he does. He always thinks Harry's going to come back, but he's going to kill people to remind people about Harry. If it had been something like that, I would not have been surprised.
Yeah, not at all. It would have been fucking perfect.
But the whole like Smokey and the band scene, they all finished work and there's no way them showers were warm. There's no way they had proper hot showers.
No, absolutely not.
Like that's where I call a wee bit of bullshit, because there's like steam and stuff. I'm like, nah, that'd be a cold shower, rub yourself down. It's not everyone all jolly after work.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be proper man test.
Pretty much.
There was one bar of carbolic soap getting thrown around. I was just like, oh god, no, that's sinking down your skin.
That was the 80s. It was a different time when germs didn't exist or something. Yeah.
Then we have the whole Smokey and the Bandit scene, which was hilarious, and all the cars and every beat up piece of crap that really shouldn't be on the road. Like it's just one cog or spring away from just falling apart.
Right. It was beautiful Frankenstein monsters. Yeah.
But it really gives you the feel of the town. This is isolated town, mining town. This is all they know. They do with they're not worried about fashion or anything. They're just living the moment.
I don't know, man. Fucking Handlebars. He was definitely a fashionista throughout the film.
Oh, Hard. I like this character. He's great.
Yeah.
We've seen later on, and he just has a boss. But yeah, this town's going absolutely. I've never seen anywhere go mad for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's such a bullshit holiday.
It's a rip-off holiday. It's one of them. If you love your partner, you don't take them out on Valentine's Day. You take them out the day after.
Right. See, I've got it hard because my wife's birthday is on the 7th, so exactly a week before that, and I always end up going balls deep for her birthday for obvious fucking reason. So when Valentine's Day rolls around, it's like, well, here's a card and something stupid I bought you.
I think you get away with that one, but
yeah,
it's the fact that everything is overpriced on Valentine's Day for absolutely no. Like the only people going out the restaurants on Valentine's Day are those that want to flex.
Yeah.
Look at me, I can afford this and you can't, peasant. That's the sort of people that are doing it. They're not doing it for enjoyment. They're just getting a nice steak at home, throw a few petals or something about, and candles, and just relax rather than going to, especially when it's so like factory, something like the Farm Factory or something now. It's just so commercialized. Like there's nothing even remotely like fun about it or romantic about sitting in a restaurant with 50 other people all crammed together. This is where we get the first human heart in the box, isn't it?
Yep. And it was so funny too, because it's like, where the fuck are you guys going in such a hurry? It's such a small town. Like, there's a heart in the box. We need to flip around all dramatically. It's like, I'm pretty sure you hurrying to the medical examiner isn't going to make a difference. I'm pretty sure the person whose heart you have is dead.
Yeah. they're not getting back.
But god damn it, talk about the most suspenseful scene in the entire fucking movie. Like, I thought for sure, and mind you, I've watched this movie dozens of times. Every fucking time it's like, oh my god, is the dog gonna get hit?
Oh, the random dog starts chasing the truck,
and it like runs into it, and you clearly see it bounce off the fucking truck, and it's like, oh my god. Every time it gets me.
I think they were real stray dogs. Like there's
Yeah.
one of them had mange and stuff, and you're like, they're not set pieces. They've obviously
No.
filmed in a location where there's like proper stray dogs just going about the place.
Yeah. Yeah, there was yeah, that definitely was not state.
But they just kept them. Why not? If nature gives you something to work with, why not?
Mm.
But it represented the area. It represented the tone of the movie. It just fitted.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like everything that happened in this movie, it only lended itself to the feel of the small town.
Mm-hmm. Which is as much of a character. It's not so much the individuals, it's the town itself and the stuff which you can kind of see. Like there's the one reasonably attractive woman, and of course the two hot dudes are fighting over her, and that's you can see that happening anyway. That's not out of the question. And then she's the only one that has a choice, really. Of course she's gonna like him and Ha between and weigh them up. Let's be honest, they're both the same. Neither one of them's really going to jump above the other because there's no space.
Right, it's
they're
like
just going to maintain that level,
Yeah, it's like your choice is, do you go blonde or do you go brunette? That's her choice.
Yeah,
because they're the same fucking person essentially.
Yeah, that's I think that adds to the sort of like the character of the town, which because there's not really much about how the killer's called Harry. He was the one that did the original killings. He was put in an asylum. And then it's got to the point where people are like, did it really happen?
Yeah.
He's more of a sideline. The real thing about this story is just life in a small town, a mining community.
Right. Yeah, it's almost like he's the avatar of the town. Like, because it's the town ultimately that's the fucking killer.
And this is the whole thing with TJ. Isn't TJ and Axel are the two main characters in this? Yeah, TJ. Sorry, TJ went away. He left. He went to the West Coast because he thought he was better than everybody. And it didn't work out. He came back. Sorry, I'm drawing parallels with my own life here. Oops.
So when you guys see some weird serial killer shit over the UK, that's who it is.
Shush.
I don't know. I feel like your experience is far more traumatic than a kid watching his father get murdered brutally. I feel like you can bounce back.
Yeah, I was. No, that was not TJ though. That was Axel.
Was it?
Yeah, because
never mind. Sorry,
TJ's father is
yeah. I keep mixing the two up
because they're the same character.
That too.
They're two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
Like at some point, I thought they were going to just stitch a girl and like hang out of each other. Like they're just that,
I mean, shit. That's where fucking homegirl was setting. Sarah was setting up. Like, when she's walking down the street with her friend, getting ready to go into the store, and her friend's like talking about, oh well, which one are you gonna go with? The way she was looking at her friend, it's like, is she just gonna?
I'm going to choose.
I'm choosing you over them, because that's kind of what it seemed like to me.
No, I thought TJ and Axel, it was going to be like proper Brokeback Mountain sort of thing.
Yeah,
and they were going to forget about it, especially the scene in the car where he's sitting in the car and he hands him the bottle of whiskey. I thought, you know what, is Sarah really worth it? I would not have surprised me if it went that way, because it would actually.
Because who hasn't been there, right?
it would actually, the way those two are getting on, it would actually make more sense, and they'd probably be happier,
right? Especially like the dueling harmonicas.
Oh yeah,
it's like that's their love language, is playing harmonicas to each other.
That was about that's about I broke.
That was everything you need to know about the town in that moment. Like
that one.
That's the kind of place that they are in. They're hanging out in a junkyard, cooking food off of a busted down car, getting drunk and playing harmonicas. It's like that's everything you need to know about the town at that point.
Yeah, and the whole argument is TJ went away, so Axel thought it was his turn. And he's like, well, you've had your go, now it's my turn again. And that's basically it. I don't think there was actually any love involved, really. It was just...
Oh, yeah, no, it was a dick contest is all it was.
Yeah, yeah. Usual, Chris, for having fun.
What's up?
Good to see you, man. Yeah. The whole thing then they're playing knives in the bar, and you see the prosthetic hands. The prosthetic hands were brilliant. Yeah,
man, that is the one downside to having upgraded visuals. Like so the version that I watched, it was the Shout Factory re-release, so it was 2K scan of old, I think it was like the 35mm prints or something like that. So instead of getting this beautiful grainy shit, like you see everything crisp and crystal clear, and it doesn't always lend itself great to visual effects,
No, we
but
talked about this in Suspiria as well. It did not the 4K. The directors built in the camera graininess with their effects. They'd factored that in.
oh yeah,
Right,
yeah.
I
I
can
mean,
hide that.
the best example is the Flash Gordon movie. Like that is unwatchable in 4K.
Oh no!
Watch it on a VCR. It's fucking great. Well, I mean, relatively speaking.
It's like go Flash, go Flash.
Yeah, but yeah,
Oh,
it's like
that's
it's a very common thread with these older movies. As soon as you upgrade the resolution, you're just sort of like,
almost feels like a second go around. It's like should you or should a filter be applied or something? Yeah, upgrade it. You need to then like put a filter over to help it out.
Then I'm all for it. I mean, it doesn't ever really take me out of the movie, at
No,
least
I'm having
not in
fun.
any
I'm
massive way. But yeah, it's like you go from going, oh, this is I'm a movie, or it's a movie, I'm falling into it, and then you get those moments like that. That's like tee hee hee, and then you just go right back into it.
But once again, it's they've put work in.
Hmm.
Where if you think of movies today, it's just done on the computer, and there's no magic there.
Hmm.
Where at least they're like seeing this, and right, so they set that up. That's what they're doing. That's how they're getting to play it.
Right. Well, the best part about that whole scene wasn't just the clearly, foam arms. It was when the dude actually sticks himself and you see the blood on the hand and he lifts it up to suck on it, and apparently his coal miner saliva has magical healing properties
Oh yeah,
because his
yeah,
finger is 100% fine when he pulls it out of his mouth.
Because that's the way. That's the way we were taught to do it. Just
Yeah.
wipe it off. It's all right.
Right.
Ah, dear. Yeah, and then this is the case as well. We see the banter with the barmaid, but they all know each other,
Hmm.
and they all start singing at them. Singing at her, and they made up a little ditty. If you did that today, you'd be in jail.
Oh, absolutely. At the very least, get your ass beat by someone.
But once again, this is the stuff to talk about. Oh, toxic masculinity and stuff. But there was no harm in it, and everyone was involved. It's like General Poltergeist. When we reviewed Poltergeist, and we saw she's all the builders in the yard at the older sister.
That was problematic. The barmaid,
she flipped the bird at them. It was part of the banter.
Yeah.
And it was almost like you got the feeling everyone was participating. Same as this. There's absolutely zero harm in it.
Right. Yeah. It's like she's laughing just as well. That's how you treat friends. If you don't treat your friends badly, are they even your friends, really?
Yeah, that's it. If the only thing you have around you are sycophants, you are in trouble. Seriously, because if you've only got people, best example I ever remember was Michael Jackson. If you remember that documentary thing he did, appeared on TV once, and I started watching it, and all his dancers are like, "You're great, nah, we love you." Every fucking if he took a shit, they're all outside the toilet going, "We love you, you're great, you're fantastic," and that's gotta put your head away.
Oh yeah, no, he fucking hated it.
It literally put his head away because he needed his happy pills or something. That's what killed him in the end of the day. He's fucked in the head.
Yeah,
you don't need that. A bit of robustness now. There's always a line, and I never agree, but when you see the scenes where somebody's like getting actual grabby, and somebody says no, that's fucking, that's always been you're crossing the line. But this was all good banter. Everyone knows each other. They've all grown up together. They're all getting the adulthood together. This has been, and it's never going to change.
Yeah.
Like maybe every so often they have to inject fresh DNA. Like somebody has to go and hunt for one and bring them back just to keep the gene pool, a little bit.
Yeah, add a different branch to the family tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're all in the same branch.
They'll have to speak to the next man in town across and do like an exchange every so often, just every 50 years. But once again, it's the town is the character. But I love the flashback music. Oh god, I can't remember his name. The bartender.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But yeah. That dude is fantastic.
But you actually got the blim 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 freaking the flashback music, and that was it. I'm busted up at this point. Way to go on a tangent there, Chris.
I am missing this apparently.
Oh, Horrific Tales Volume 2. Cryptids. Yeah, that's done a month and a bit before
no, man, I'm not a writer at all. So yeah, that's never gonna happen.
Each their own. It's like I would never be an illustrator. Just not my thing.
Well, it's like I love the idea of storytelling. I just can't fucking do it to save my life.
But that's the thing. It's each to their own. You know what I mean? I'm just annoyed that it took me years to find something that I could actually really get into. you know, the whole podcasting thing and everything else. It was a bit later on in life. I wish I had started this maybe 20 years earlier. Like back in the good old tapes, you know, VCR tapes and stuff and camcorders and stuff. That would have been fun. Trying to splice stuff and edit it that way. Like this movie was done. An actual film. Because that's one thing. Because we were having the discussion of whether to watch the theatrical cut or the unrated one.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know. But I then found out when you actually see the camera change, you know, it's almost like a second camera comes into play. Mm-hmm. When you see the scenes that were cut out, it just goes, wibble. Oh, right, okay. Like even at the start, a bit with the spike come through, you could see the camera changing, you know, the actual grain and stuff.
Yeah. This is one of the rare examples of the difference not changing the story arc at all. Because they cut out a staggering 9 minutes, which doesn't sound like a big deal until you like are actually watching a fucking movie. Like 9 minutes is a big deal. But yeah, so like the theatrical cut, they cut out 9 minutes of gore, just gore. There was nothing else taken out, like none of the, you know, attempted sex, none of the language. Absolutely, it was 100% just gore. So yeah, like when you're actually watching the unrated cut, like he was saying, there's a very distinct change, and it's like those are the scenes that clearly got cut out because they kept the negatives, but it wasn't the same quality because it was stored a lot longer, or whatever. So it's not bad enough to take you out of the movie, like say the Cabal cut of Nightbreed, but you can definitely tell what was cut out and what wasn't.
Yeah, and it doesn't change anything because like for the moments that they did cut out, it's just part of a scene. So the scene already happens anyway.
Yeah.
There's no nudity or anything. It was very tasteful, you know, in that respect. So, like for an 80s slasher, it was actually quite reserved.
Yeah, it's must have been that Canadian sensibility.
Yeah, and like I said, they did focus on the. But it's amazing how this is such a phenomenon. Like it's one of the talked about movies.
Well, and it's been done over like 3 different times.
Yeah, because there's My Bloody Valentine 3D, and then there's another version, isn't there?
Yeah, there's the one from I can't remember if it's like the 50s or 60s. So technically, this was a remake. And then there's the 2007 remake, which that one was pretty fun, at least from what I remember.
It's one of them ones like it's a seasonal movie, so you only ever think about it at the season, and then if you watch it, you watch it, and then if you don't, like, oh shit, I've missed it. Oh well, I'll wait the next year, stick it back in again. Yeah, and then poor Betty, she's like the first proper victim of modern era.
Yeah.
Because we don't know where the heart came from the first time, because it wasn't the same girl at the beginning, because she got her heart stabbed anyway. And was she not from the original one?
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I actually don't remember.
And nobody talked about somebody going missing, so the blonde girl at the start must have been from the original.
Yeah, fuck, I have no idea. Well, because if, like, looking at it, that might have been modern time, but it was never really explained. So I don't know. But yeah, there's just a random heart, and then it starts. And that shit, man, like her reveal of, you know, when the sheriff goes in there looking for her.
And we'll get the Telegraph moment as well when he's sniffing, going, what's happening here? He's actually sniffing the clothes and all, going, oh, that's not good.
It's like, what smells like burning? Well, it's not this. And then the tumbler fucking opens up and she falls out.
And goes around about 4 or 5 times.
So fucking good.
Was that a cutscene?
It might have been.
Because you can see him looking away and stuff and that, and I just think that might have been, because you see her actually in the thing going around, you know, hanging over the edge.
Yeah, that was probably the most, I guess, gory shit that happened in the movie, besides when Homeboy gets his face boiled and then thrown in the freezer.
Oh, I can taste that thing. It's not that often when you can actually taste.
Why boiling hot dogs? Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. 80s, man. Everything.
Yeah, man, that was that's a choice. Like, why boil any meat? That's just sad.
Unless you're making a stew, but even then, you saute off the meat first.
Right? Well, plus, you're not just boiling it in water, you're cooking it in a broth or something. Like, there's flavor. Like, yeah, water should not be used for anything except for cleaning the fucking dishes afterward. Well, and I guess drinking, but yeah, just insane to me.
Yeah, that was the thing was looking tragic as it was. You know, they set up the official one in the town hall. Then after Betty gets taken care of, that's the reason to shut it all down. And then they all decide, oh, I know what we'll do. we'll go to somewhere even more depressing.
Right? We'll party at the mine.
Because that's a choice. That's you're just like, we'll go to the place we spend every day.
I mean,
Shit.
been there, man.
Yeah.
Like, let's finish this party somewhere else. I know, let's go to work.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, and then they started the sheriff, or sorry, the chief and the mayor, they try to find out what's happened to Harry. Has he escaped? And I'm thinking, this is 20 years plus. This is entering Michael Myers territory of, this is going to be a dude in his 70s or the latest Texas Chainsaw. Like,
say he'd be about 50, like if the math right, like 50 or 60, because it was the 50s. This is 1981, so yeah, assuming he was as young as everybody else when that shit happened, it'd be about.
And he worked out a lot. If he was doing the Sarah Connor thing while in the psychiatric hospital, I would get it. But if he was like me, I'm not taking down. I don't know. A lot of 20-year-olds are stringy now. Actually, when I think about it,
yeah, it's like and size doesn't mean shit. Like it's all about if you know how to fight or not. Plus, I mean, you're a slasher. You got the element of surprise, and that makes a huge difference. I mean,
he announces his arrival.
He definitely announces it, but the people are dumb enough that it's like, no, that's clearly not real. Even though our friends keep going missing for whatever reason.
Yeah. But when they ring up the psychiatric hospital, they're like, we don't know where he is. Like, psychotic patient. Like, that's to be on a certain tier of this person's dangerous.
Well, that was the thing. Like the sheriff kept talking about, I'm waiting to hear back from them. He never actually heard back from them until like the next day. And the next day, well, I mean, spoiler, if you guys haven't watched a movie that's 40 plus years old, that's the next day they ring him up like, oh yeah, that guy, oh, he's been dead for like 5 years.
Yeah, but you think there would be a sense of urgency. What there might be a dangerous patient escaped. We'll go and check immediately. Right, this might be priority.
It's like, I understand this is before like computers were really, really used, but I can't imagine the filing system being that archaic and complicated that they couldn't go, oh yes, this person who we have both first name and last name and a date of when he was here. Let's look this up real quick.
Yeah, and also, really dangerous. That's the really dangerous section we have particular specifically set aside in the ward for the psychotic killer section that tried to wipe out a small town.
Yeah.
But I could picture that as well. If you're dealing with somebody that dense, I suppose it's entirely possible. Like, we've seen crap go on in the real world. That people like, did none of you think of that? No.
That is true. That is pretty true.
And even before he rung them up, like, did he not get his own case files? Surely there'd be like a follow-up with like course case numbers and references and stuff and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. It just, I know they're just doing it for the plot, but this is one of the big holes that you can fall into of just procedure. But one thing that really, really, really annoyed me, like, and that it should be illegal, is the mayor. Like, he came out of the hand screaming this. You don't ever light cigars with a Zippo lighter. That's the most disgusting thing. You can taste that. That's another. Like, there's two scenes in this I could taste. And one was hot dog head, and the other was him lighting that with a freaking petrol Zippo lighter. Like, you just, you could just taste that shit. Going right through the cigar. Why bother?
Yeah. No,
I'm going to be a peasant, smoke cigarettes.
Right. It's like cigars it's a ritual smoking one of those. It's not like, I don't know, it just seems so blasé how he fucking treats them. It's like, I'm not a smoker. Well, I mean, of the tobacco normally, but like when I do have the random cigar every once a year or whatever, yeah, it's a fucking ritual. You do it a certain way, and yeah, you don't want it tasting like shit, because that's a flavor that will stay in that cigar until you put it out. It's atrocious.
Yeah. And who's the other guy? Oh, the chief. Yeah, the chief. He's a pipe smoker, so he's even looking down at him going, "You absolute pleb."
I fucking so badly want to have his holster. Like, I've never realized it until this viewing, but he has a special spot on his fucking gun belt for his goddamn pipe. It's like, you are fucking Gandalf, you motherfucker. This is amazing.
He's a legend. He's not messing about. Like, he knows his priorities.
Yeah, I love that shit. It's like, man, I need that. I fucking need that. I don't even, I mean, use a pipe, but not like that. And oh, it's so cool.
And plus that's like a proper late 70s one as well. That's you know that all comes apart and goes into a case. Like that's that proper connoisseur's pipe. Yeah, but it's things like that. Once again, it builds the character of the town. Like I don't know whether it was intentional that they wanted to give you the scene, or was it just the location? And I'm not putting a beat on it. I don't think they're trying to, like, there's no messaging with this movie. There's nothing about, here's the hardship of an isolated town or anything. But they really put a lot of effort into building the character. Like you can imagine living there or what it would be like.
Well, and that's the thing. Like they very subtly put in the dynamic of living in a small town where it's all blue collar shit, and it's hard blue collar shit, without actually having to show it. Like this is the kind of movie that if it was remade, basically shot for shot today, that would be the bulk of the movie, is the struggle of the working class and all that shit. And then and there's a killer.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, it's subtle, it's there, it tells a better story than if you actually were, like, if that was the focal point of the story.
Yeah, there's no exposition needed. It's just showing you, and it's
it's like we see how hard it is anytime that they're working. Like, they're fucking all hunched over when they walk out. They're covered head to toe in black. They have communal showers. Like, it's pretty obvious how hard shit is there. So it's like, why make that a thing?
But they also show that they make the most of it, and they don't let it beat them. They embrace it. There's a sense of community and all. And this thing happening is rocking the community. It's just why is this happening here? Makes no sense. That's their mindset. The TJ Axel thing obviously goes on quite a bit. But I love the bit they're like ready to come to blows, and Hard just steps in. He's like, "Nah, haven't done this."
Right. Not in my fucking area.
Yeah, they're the two buff blokes, the sort of, like, today they'd all be chiseled abs and stuff, and Hard's just like, yeah, Tash, nah, not my one, sorts of both out. That sort of quiet power, if that makes sense, because he's the Joker, not as bad as the other guy.
I can't remember his name either.
Hard's the one, the Joker all the time doing the weird stuff. Yeah, it's hard to pick out these characters because there's so many. It's a really large cast. And
yeah, that's the crazy thing, is it going through the credits after the movie, it's like, fuck, I didn't realize there were that many people in this movie. But of course there's that many people in this movie. Like, we see them on fucking screen, but it doesn't feel like a bloated cast.
Like, do you know, today if they do like more than 5 characters, it feels bloated because they don't know how to tell a story. And then think everybody has to get their moment, but everybody gets their moment in this. Everyone has they just made it feel like they went to a town and just fancy being in the movie, just act as normal, and then we'll throw this other stuff in here. And they did it, once again, effort and people just being involved in the project. I love the fact as well that, so they decided they're going to hold, this is carrying on, and the other guy was it the barman decides to set up the prank? Turns into an absolute cackling lunatic. Wasn't it?
No, that wasn't the bar guy. No.
Who's the other?
Because he was the straight man throughout the entire movie.
But who's the one decided he's going to fix their wagon and does the mannequin thing? Like, the really intricate.
Wait, fuck. Was that the bar guy?
No. Was the bartender? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the bar guy that set that up.
Because he goes for
yeah, that's right. Because the whole time he's
bitching. Hyena.
Yeah, because he's bitching the whole time. Fucking show these kids to fucking party. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
And the notes keep appearing with the Jeep. You didn't stop the party. And you're like, oh god, this is just funny. But yeah, let's just take a trip down the mine, because that's what you do.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense because they have a huge fucking recreational room or something at the mine. So yeah, why not use it? They're not working, obviously.
No, but I mean, when they decide to actually go into the mine itself.
Oh yeah, to go in. Yeah.
That's the bit I'm like, really?
Fuck yeah. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, right? You take girls to dark, scary places, and then they want to get close to you or something, I guess.
But we've seen the ball coming up stink. Like I said, we've already had the premise of how dangerous it is down there. Like, you need safety gear, you need chemicals, there's methane running about. The whole point of this movie is that somebody didn't follow safety protocols, and a lot of people died. Hence, Harry became a killer.
Yeah.
Which actually, I don't know why he ended up. Maybe it's just so he didn't do jail time, because it was justified. Like, he took out the 2 idiots that cut corners. He didn't go on a proper rampage. He got the 2 ones that cut corners and killed all his mates and his father. So yeah, I think you're just meant to switch your brain off for those bits.
Well, the thing is, it's like the reason he was in the insane asylum made perfect sense because he was the only one that survived because he ate all of his homies down there until they were able to get him out. So that's what made him snap. That's what made him go to the insane asylum. And then when he broke out, he killed the people that caused that shit. So it makes sense. It's a very quick scene, so it's very easy to miss.
Oh, true enough. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's one of them. It's because they spend so much time on the other stuff, which I don't. It's it's a really enjoyable movie. That's the thing. But it's little bits I guess you're like, oh right, yeah, blink and you miss it. You just kind of gloss over why it's all happening.
Yeah, because I mean, that couldn't have been more than like 2 minutes of screen time, like explaining why Harry did what he did.
Yeah, God, that's sort of come back now. But when he actually went on the killing spree afterward, there was only 2 people. Like it was, and it was actually deserved because they cut corners. So once again, back to this, where they're just like, because usually if an incident happens like that, then the health and safety ramps up tenfold. So the fact that they can just casually bring everybody down, that would be a minor history. If that sort of incident happened, it would be in that particular company, that areas like etched into their brand. You know yourself, if something like majorly wrong happened at work, rules and regulations are coming in because of that one incident. So the fact that they're just like, yeah, just jump in the cart and we'll all head down. And the bit where they're walking through the tunnels and it's all covered in lime, just like, really? You know what that shit does to you?
It was the 80s. It was a different time.
No, but even that used to be a punishment, was rolling people in the lime pit in Victorian times. So you'd have, if somebody transgressed the like sort of community justice, they get rolled in the lime pit and they go blind. Because that stuff's lethal. They just needed like a bit of asbestos as well, I think. What we needed was something with a bit of asbestos and went, oh, tasty. I would just think, oh, and munching a lead pencil as we're walking down,
Definitely a different time.
Yeah. But the fact that these people know this is their daily job, and they're just walking through, like, nah. I know you need a scene, but could you not have just kept it?
Well, no, because they had to set up, this is the scary part that we don't go down because it's not safe. Just like, this is the ventilation shaft. We don't go in there because it's just a ventilation shaft.
Yeah, it's where the movie sort of gets a bit rocky, where there's plenty in this. It could have been happening all around the town. Like, there's plenty of places. It just felt like they were trying too hard with the mind.
Well, I mean, it's what happens when you have limited locations. Like, you got to utilize what you got.
But yeah, it just felt this, but taking them all down the mines was trying too hard because he's already got the suit on and stuff and going around. Everything's set up that they need. The same with Axel sploosing in the water. That was a bit telegraphed as well. Like, I could get this if you've never seen a horror movie before, but if you've watched horror movies, you know exactly that it just everything falls into place.
Yeah.
All right, that's where we're going. Because, of course, you've got the 2 suitors that's going to have to get resolved one way or another. So one of them had to go to be the hero at the end. So, but yeah, Axel turned out to be the new killer. But I don't know how I feel about it. It's like I said, it's this last act where it's a bit shaky on it because it done so well setting everything up. The pacing was great in this. Like, you're not wasting time in this movie. But it just felt like the 10 all up was a bit half-baked. No?
Yeah. No, I can see that.
Yeah, like I said, I just felt like, we need a sort of way to wrap this up. We need somebody to be the killer, and we'll get no indication of Axel up until the spruce scene. No indication whatsoever.
Well, and then is the flip that we get as soon as it's revealed that it's him. It's just like he goes almost like a caricature. Ironically enough, because the Joker is a caricature of a villain, but a caricature of the Joker. Like, he titters a lot, and then he cuts his arm off and runs away like, ha, fuck you.
Yeah, I'll be back as I'm bleeding to death right now.
Yeah. It was pretty funny, though.
Yeah, that's where I say it was unintentional comedy. If this had been a horror comedy, you could see it, but it's not. It's trying to be like a proper slasher. And for the most part, it is. It's just that when it comes to that sort of end and the reveal and stuff, it just felt like the weakest part of the whole movie. But it doesn't take me away from enjoying it. That's the thing, because it's given me enough goodwill that I can forgive it. If that makes sense. This has given me. I've been enjoying myself watching the movie, and then the reveal and stuff was a bit forced and lackluster. But I genuinely feel that they want me to have a good time watching this film, and they're trying to. So reasons happened that this is the way the script got written.
Mhm.
It might have seemed like a good idea on paper, but we didn't get enough to, because everything's been telegraphed. So we should have had an idea that Axel wasn't right, but there's no indication right up until the very last second. Which
Yeah, I almost wonder if that was like an intentional decision. Like, hey, let's throw a lot of shit out there that seems obvious. That way, when the reveal of the who or the real killer is, comes up, it's like, oh, well, holy shit, look at that fucking misdirect. So it's like I'd be really curious to hear like if that was intentional to keep the ending like a surprise.
yeah, but like I said, because I've been enjoying myself and it's done really well and the pacing's brilliant, I kind of forgave it. I went, okay, that's what we're doing. But oh my god, that fight scene on the cart heading back up.
Yeah, that was like the most uneventful. Like that's like some fucking OG Star Trek fight type shit. Like you're just waiting to see somebody ball up both fists together and meh.
The Kirk Fu, even Kirk Fu has more impact.
Yeah, and like, wait, here, take the shovel. It's like, wait, why didn't you just smack the motherfucker when you had the shovel in your hand? He was distracted. You could have got the fucker in the back of the head.
You can just tell that these two aren't fight choreographers. They're just, they're not practicing that.
Yeah.
God, it's almost bad as Steve and I are covering the Hammer films at the moment. And God, the fight scenes in them are tragic.
Are fantastic. I don't know what you're talking about. That's how people fought back in the day.
God, Peter Cushing, I love him as an actor. I always will. And the fact he's a big nerd as well, just, edging. But when he does a fight scene, it's just so...
It gets the vapors, man. It happens.
Yeah. This was on par with that.
Definitely, yeah.
You're in a fight scene now. Never done one before. Like it's almost like two people have never been in a fight, or just that terrified of hurting each other. They just won't commit to any move. They obviously didn't have the budget for stunt doubles.
Yeah.
So you can almost hear that. Oh, sorry. After every swing.
Right.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Are you okay? You could just picture them just checking each other, afraid to commit to it.
Yeah, it's funny.
But there you go. Like I said, it's a fun movie.
Fuck yeah. No, it's a great one, man. And it's I don't remember the remake too fondly. I mean, I remember going to see it because it was one of the first movies my wife and I went and saw together when we first started dating. But yeah, outside of that, I don't really remember the remake, so I might have to revisit it one of these days.
Yeah, well, we could stick it on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, stick it on the remakes list as well. Have a mosey at it. But here you go. Yeah, have some fun. Enjoy myself. We're close to the actual holiday date for once.
Right. Yeah, it's
go us.
It's a nice change.
Team HORRORific. That's a deal. Almost on the head.
Oh wait, it was 2009. Sorry, I was looking it up.
2009's the 3D one.
I don't know why I was thinking it was 2007. No, probably because I have no sense of time. Whatever. But yeah, we'll definitely have to watch that one of these days.
Yeah, we got that. But there you go, folks. There's another one. We survived. We made it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, had fun. So there you go. What have we got coming up? Yeah, I'm gonna be Real Gods of Hyceris finally dropped the demo of it, so I'm gonna have a crack at that tomorrow night.
Nice.
I covered a news article. It's a Lovecraftian RPG.
Fuck yeah.
So I'll have a look at that, see if it's worth the hype. And yeah, Chris and I are doing Leprechaun 5 in the Hood.
Fuck yeah. One of the greatest franchises ever.
Yep.
Although I'm really partial to In Space. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, that's just Defender, like it gets hate, but it does exactly what it says in the tin.
Exactly. Like right in the beginning of the movie, he has a goddamn lightsaber cane. Like fuck you if you're gonna take this movie serious.
It's a tuxedo. It's when he appears in a tuxedo at the start. You're like, okay, I know exactly where this is going. Fine.
Right. It's so goddamn good.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Oh, we're back to Heart of Darkness on Wednesday. We're playing Alien again.
Hell yeah.
I don't think we're all about to die.
Nice.
Tentacles is charging on us. So it could be a short game. We'll see how it goes. Well, there you go, folks. Until next time, keep updating the channel, do the technical things, and remember to keep it creepy,
keep it horrific.